Hello, viewers. Welcome to this edition of snsr360 Investor. And today we'll be looking at the trader and equities portion of our 360-degree framework. Topic is masters lists. Before we begin, please pause, read, and continue. Thank you. Okay, so the idea behind the masters list is as you learn the trade and the craft, it takes a long time to get there. And finally, when you do, you kind of get certified as a trading master, and you kind of then apply your craft by collecting stocks that are being screened and reviewed and in front of individual masters and successful masters. It kind of gives you and presents you with high quality stocks to take a look at. And so that's the concept behind taking a look at the masters list. So with that being said, let's take a look at what's on the list for the masters this week. Okay, so with our list for this week, there are actually 163 stocks that made the list this week. We won't review all 163, but we will review a reasonable percentage, maybe the top 20% or 20% of the list. Okay, starting with LPG, what we're looking for are strong stocks with an uptrend that are close to or in a base that gives you time to react to them. And if they've just broken out of a recent base, then we still want them to be close enough to the base pivot on any pullback that you can get them. Or if they're within the 5% extension zone, they're still within the buy zone. So first one is Dorian LPG. As you can see, strong stock uptrend, base up here, kind of forming a base next to a base. So that's in play. Next one is Sterling Infrastructure. Sterling Infrastructure has got a strong uptrend. You can see several bases through its climb up, and it's making another. Looks like it's putting in the bottom of a base here. So build out of the right side will be what we want to look out for. Next up is Curtis Wright Corp. Again, strong uptrend. A couple of bases along the way, breakouts alongside, and then we had this kind of pullback really, and now we see the stock pulling in the left side of the base. Next up is Dicom Industries, a little bit more choppier than the other in trend wise, but we can see it's been cycling, and then we finally get a breakout. We got 4 strong weeks, a little sideways action, breaks out again, and now it's in another base, looking to put in the bottoming weeks of that base action there. Next up is Novartis, clear strong momentum stock with very strong uptrend, and we can see it's been kind of moving up, basing, moving up, breaking out, basing, little base here, little breakout. So this one is right near the pivot point, so but within the extension zone. So that one's actually probably actionable this week. Next up is Deckers Outdoor. Again, strong uptrend. Then we've got a nice little base breakout, another little base, later little breakout here, another little base here, breakout. Now it's pulling in again down to smaller zones, and we want to see this kind of action makes the right side and then breaks out. So definitely one to have on your watch list. MedPace, if we can see this little consolidation going on, and look for a breakout above the recent highs. Stryker Corporation. So this one has been kind of a little flattish, not great outperformance against the S&P 500, but we can see a breakout here, move up, and now it's basing again. Little weakness since it hasn't been able to move back up, so it's got a little pullback going there. Okay, then we get to Light and Wonder. This one's moving up, so it's about on par, or slightly above par to the S&P relative to the S&P. It's in a base, moving up. Garmin, slow start here. Now it's accelerated. We can see that the momentum is picked up. Nice little consolidation breakout, a little pullback breakout. Now it's in a little tight little area here, like a flattish basis coming. So an early entry point within the base and the standard entry points above the highs there. Airbnb a little choppy, but it is in an uptrend and it is in a base and it's starting to come out to the right side of the base. So wanted to watch in time to watch it. Giga Cloud Technologies, recent IPO, we can see came off, bottomed, found a bottom from the IPO, started to move up, based here, move up, nice uptrend, and now it's kind of consolidating. So this one technically could be a double bottom type of pattern, but we'll have to see what the future weeks bring, or it'll just be a consolidation zone. Next up is Palo Alto. Palo Alto, well-known stock, has been a strong performer. So we've had a little bit of an uptrend and a little bit. It's forming a consolidation, and this week kind of really wrecked it. That was an earnings week, but it's kind of rebuilt itself and now starting to finish up the right-hand side of that basin form. That's underway. Bluebird Corporation, we've got a consolidation breakout, move up, little pullback here, breakout, and then now just kind of pulling back in from this initial move. So we'll see if that's a tight zone, decides to break out, and will form the right-hand side of that pattern. CyberArk, similar to Palo Alto Networks. So we've got a stock that was going sideways, moves up, starts to trend up, now it's formed this base, and it's forming the right-hand side of this consolidation. Tidewater, another strong contender. So we can see nice moving uptrend, a couple of bases along the way, in a clear base right now. Next up is Berkshire Hathaway B-class shares. So this is a big stock, high capitalization value. Well, base here, breakout, and now it's in another little consolidation zone up here. Allstate has been moving up from its recent lows, and now we see it forming the left side of what looks like a basing pattern forming. Next up is GoDaddy. So this one sideways for a long time, blew out with a 52-week high here, and since then it's moved up about 60% plus, and it's kind of forming a little bit of a price resistance zone up here, which looks like a flat base. Move a break above that would be the ticket. Make my trip, and so we have a stock that formed a new uptrend, little pullback action here, and it looks like it's forming a little bit of a base up here, and we had a little basing action here. So this could actually continue to maybe form an ascending base, or we'll have to see, or we could just break out of this zone. So one to watch. Next up is Universal Technical Institute. So this is a longish sideways digestion. We'll need a break above that. In data isogen, this one's a bit choppy, so we'll bypass that. Go to Melly. Carta Libre, this one's been kind of moving up and back and moving up and back. Had a kind of a bit of a decline here, short-term decline. Then earnings break out here, or earnings move up, I should say, didn't quite break out. And now it's forming another base next to this base. So it's tightening up quite nicely. Next one is Eli Lilly, and everybody's probably got this on their radar. So this one is actually now extended. Next up is Meta, or Facebook as we will know it. Nice little consolidation zone, very tight bars, which is good. We'll break out here. And another little consolidation zone, working its way up to a potential breakout in the offing. Coinbase tied to the all the Bitcoin trades, and this one is in a uptrend, little more volatile because it moves up and then gives it up again, although it's trending up. So a little harder to play. It is in a consolidation zone right now. Next up is big stock, Progressive Insurance, and this one we can see kind of a little pullback here, breakout, moves up, and then a little pullback, earnings, and since then it's just done exceptionally well. Now it's in a kind of a price resistance zone, flattish base. So a move above this will be what we want to look for. Next up is FMC Technologies. Nice little trending stock, couple of bases along the way, pretty noticeable. And now it looks like it's forming a kind of a flattish base or tight base up here. A break above that is what we want to look for. Next up is PDD Holdings. So this one is not as strong as some of the other stocks. There is a kind of a formation consolidation zone up here, but kind of try to break out. It's pulled back in. So we'll see what this does, whether it's a base next to a base. And so time and the chart is needed. Next up is DoorDash, and this one reversed, formed a first base, formed this first base after the reversal, and then we see a breakout, moved up, and now it's forming another base. Looks like it's putting in the bottom of a base in up here, so we'll see if it starts to build the right side going forward. Next up is Supermicro Computers, something that most of you following the AI will know. This is the picks and shovels of the AI craze. And then we can see a very strong burst out of this consolidation zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even though the downside reversal still up, 7, 8, 9 weeks of accumulation. That is a lot of accumulation coming into the stock. Now it's digesting that move and it's trying to put some strength in. Again, we want to look for a breakout action in that stock. Next up is Powell Industries, another strong trending stock that's performed well over the past 12 months. So clearly we can see consolidation zone, breakout, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strong weeks up, and then it falls into a little bit of a pullback and moving up. Now it's in another pullback, but overall trend is up. So we want to see this pattern build out. More time is needed there. Root, which is been a strong performer with extremely strong momentum, and but it's moved off low values. Next up is Datadog, and Datadog we can see it's been downtrending, moving up, consolidation moving up, but this one's this is a consolidation zone here, but it looks a bit weak as it's tilted to the downside. It needs to make a little bit more progress in the chart to right size up and give us that opportunity to break out. And then we're on to AMD. AMD's got came down, kind of bottomed. It's been trending up, and then we had this big little decline down here. Came out of there, pretty good earnings support here. Moved up, downside reversal week here, and it's been coming down from that point, trying to bounce, make a stand, and being pushed back down again, finding support. So we'll see if that support holds. So more time is needed on the chart for AMD to figure out if there's something that we can use for a potential breakout. Okay, so that's about 35 stocks we just covered, which is about 20% off the list for this week. So we'll call it here in terms of the masters list. Let's just take a quick look at the SP 500. So this is this is the equal weighted one. So here we can see that from, if we go to the beginning of the year, which is roughly here, the index here is up about 4.65%. And in comparison, if we go to the S&P 500, so if we go back to the beginning of the year, which would be right there, and this index is up 16.25%. So the S&P 500 is up 4 times what the equal weighted index is up by, which kind of tells us that the market is moving up on a a much narrower base. Uh, and as we've seen that with Mag 7 or Mag 5 or whatever it is these days, those stocks are just taking it turns to alternate between themselves. One week one runs up, and then another one, and the other ones go down, or some go down. Then the following week somebody else takes it up, and because of the size, they're just able to keep this market index moving up and up and up. Whereas we're not seeing that in the broader markets. Something to watch out for. Okay, so that wraps it up for this video for this week. And again, just to recap, this was an aggregate list of the masters and what they're looking at. Ultimately, within the ocean of the stocks of about 6,000 stocks just in the US today, and a lot more internationally. We want to focus in on a subsection where we can concentrate and find good pickings. And the masters list is one potential area. And this week, I was able to share with you quite a few stocks that are in basis, setting up, or just near the buy points. And so, if you liked any of the charts, then go ahead and take a look at it yourself, do some review, look at the technicals, and if they pass your own evaluation criteria and your own set of rules, maybe one of these will find their way into your portfolio. So for this week, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.